kicking the ball out of bounds is an unforgivable sin for a kicker.
Yeah.
You had one, Joe. Just the one.
That's like if Mahomes dropped back and just dropped the ball next to him and walked away.
Wait a minute, that rings a bell.
You know, like basically like Cam Newton in Super Bowl 50.
Right.
Like, yikes. But, you know, I mean, at some point, like, that's the kind of shit that killed them.
Mm-hmm.
The errors that are so avoidable, and they, you know, Connor not turning around when he should have turned around.
Right.
Just Mickey Mouse stuff, like obvious stuff. Like the Watson PI on 3rd and 15 sucked. I think it turned the whole game. But I kind of, like, he slipped and fell, and I think he was like, if this guy catches this ball, like, there is nothing but grass behind me.
Uh-huh.
And I get it. Like, you could argue, hey, whatever, he should have. Like, he doesn't know the ball's going to be catchable. I can understand that. I can't understand Drew Tranquil running over Nick Bolton as he's about to field a fair catch. I don't know what the hell that was. Certain stuff, the mental errors, that stuff cannot happen. That just cannot happen. And that's the stuff that's so avoidable. If they had, if you keep all the physical errors in, the pick six, all of it, and you take the mental errors out of that game, I said they win by 2 scores.
Yeah.
But they just beat themselves. And it's the same thing that happened in Philadelphia. It's the same thing that happened to the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the plus side of it is, if they eliminate that stuff, they're really talented.
Yeah.
They're really good. If they don't eliminate that stuff, this is going to be one of these years you're screaming at them all year, and you're like white knuckling it to death, hoping that they just don't make a mistake. The one thing we do know is that they play the Bills in the playoffs, they'll beat them. But like everything else, like it's up for debate.
Harrison Butker has been a problem for the Kansas City Chiefs this whole season, and I need for people to know, no, we are not saying that they should cut him, because I don't know who else you could bring in. He's making a lot of money right now, so that's a lot of dead cap that the Chiefs can't really afford to have dead cap issues on right now. There's no real solution other than just us bitching about it, right, Matt? But it is wildly frustrating to see what's going on with Harrison Butker. It wasn't a missed kick this game. It was a unforced error, though, again, with him kicking the ball out of bounds on the ensuing kickoff after taking the lead. It was one of those things where, you just were shaking your head. That's literally all it was, is me just shaking my head of just of course that's what happened. Why would he kick it to a area that is, hold on, I did the math, an area that is 9,594 square feet. That's larger than a lot of houses he could kick it onto, and he just decided to kick it out of bounds.
Yeah. Listen, I am definitely not in the camp of do whatever it takes to get Matthew Wright back. I'm not, because if Butker lined up for a 54-yard field goal right now to put them in the Super Bowl, I would be supremely confident he's hitting it.
Right.
Okay. That being said, everybody else gets all the accountable, so does he. He has been a disaster through 5 games. A disaster. And when he made all 4 of his extra points, right down the middle, I was like, all right, cool. Confidence builder game.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did what he did on the kickoff.
Right.
It's an inexcusable error. It's inexcusable. I don't give a shit. Kick it down the middle, whatever. I don't care. Kick it through the end zone for all I care. Fine. You cannot do that. Now, maybe he looked at the way they'd been covering kicks all season and said, look, the 40 is better than whatever the hell we're going to do covering this thing, because they can't cover a kick to save their lives. Every time, I feel like they're a fingernail away every time from some guy breaking it and going to the house.
Right.
But it's, and truthfully, on the coverage units, they should put Jack Cochran out there, because if we know one thing about Jack Cochran, he'll get his hands on the other team.
That's true. He loves to hold.
Yeah, we're gonna get to Jack Cochran in a minute, who should have been left on the tarmac, but that's here or there. Look, Butker had the field vision last night on that kickoff of Helen Keller. Okay, buddy, for the love of God, in play. And it's what was the game? God, it was recently in prime time that people were bitching up a storm that the landing zone just changing the game. What game was that?
That was last Monday night, wasn't it? Where he kicked it short of the landing zone, and then it was just like, oh, well, you got to place it at the 40, and I was like, well, it's a lot of area, so just like kick it in the landing zone, you'll be fine.
I can't believe Chase Daniel was like irate over this.
Yeah, I think it was last Monday.
Chase, he's a professional kicker.
Right.
I mean, what are we talking about here? That's the equivalent of a pitcher in Major League Baseball warming up and being told, hey, man, throw it in the strike zone. You're a professional pitcher.
Yeah.
You should be able to do that 100 times in a row warming up. What? I mean, it's not me doing it. It's like, it's Nolan Ryan. He should be able to hit the strike zone. Harrison Butker should be able to keep the ball in play when the field is 160 feet wide. Okay? Yeah. I don't think you're asking too much here. And it's an inexcusable mistake from a guy who this year has killed them in multiple games. He cannot hit a kick. He then backs it up. Now he's kicking the ball out of bounds on kickoffs. Look, and I don't care. I know there's everybody gets their jokes off with him because of all this stuff off the field. I don't give a shit about any of that. Hit a field goal and kick the ball in the field to play.
Yep.
But their special teams last night were a disaster all the way around. Brashard Smith had one really good return and another good one. And Jack Cochran's wait a minute, I'm going to take an inconsequential hold here and make sure it doesn't count. Mm-hmm. Watch this. Neither one of them were needed. What are you doing? Just block the and then there are times if you've gotten beat and you've got just let him go, man.
Right.
Let him go. Let your returner who's running a 4.25 40, let him just make the guy miss. You're blocking some stiff on Jacksonville who's a third string linebacker. Who cares? I'm sure Brashard Smith would tell him, bro, don't even touch him.
Yeah.
That guy's not tackling me. Bye. It's the best thing Butker did all night was make a tackle.
Yeah.
They couldn't be bothered as a collective to make a tackle. Should put him on defense.
Done
something. Would have given more effort maybe than Chris Jones on the final play of the game. But
good Lord.
Wow.
I don't know if you have seen this go around. Obviously, Chris Jones has deleted his social media, his Twitter account.
I got to tell you, I would have too after that.
Yeah. I've seen some people say that Chris Jones was doing what he was supposed to do on that play. And I think that's very funny to be well, Chris Jones was waiting for maybe a pass deflection, or he pushed the line back in there. So he's taking two offensive linemen. But it's very funny to now use that, Matt, where it's well, he was doing what he's supposed to do when Chris Jones notoriously does not do what he's supposed to do ever on the football field. And now you're just well, he was doing what he's supposed to do. So I guess that's okay.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I don't think he was doing what he was supposed to do. And I don't want to speak for I'm not the defensive coordinator of the team. I don't think the game plan there was for Chris Jones to just stand up and hang out and stuff and sip a Mai Tai and hope that Trevor Lawrence went right at him. I don't think that was the play call. All right.
I hope not. If that was, it was a bad call.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Can we please stop? I don't think that's what was going on.
Right.
It was an abomination. But to get back to the special teams briefly here, yeah, look, I mean, you've got to, at some point, Arise has been good. He's been very good, actually, to his credit. He's
better than last year, yeah.
A tough year last year, yeah. Their returners are good. Smith and Remigio are good returners. So that's good. And Butker is an excellent kicker who is having a disaster of a start. But at some point, bro, stop having a disaster start.
Yeah.
Stop.
What if you thought about that?
Yeah, it's key.
Yeah.
But it's truthfully, it's like Mahomes last year. Mahomes was throwing more interceptions and touchdowns for 2 months. Mahomes is the most unassailable player on the team. You're never going to get on him. And I remember multiple times last year we sat here and I'm he's got to play better. I don't care. He's a great player. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. But
right.
You got to do better. We've been sitting here at the beginning of the season. I've been talking about Kelsey. Hey man, you got to cut the mental lapses out. I'm not going to kill him for dropping a pass. It happens. It's a physical error. I am going to kill him about when I'm watching the film and he's just standing around as guys go by him. He's supposed to be blocking. Last couple of weeks, I haven't seen him do that. But
he played good yesterday, I thought.
He did play good yesterday. He played good against Baltimore. But it's look, physical errors happen. Mental errors should never happen. They should not happen. And to me, Butker, you could argue that's a physical error. To me, that's a mental error. You're not focused because physically he kicked the ball in bounds 1,000 times out of 1,000. You're not focused. You're not on your fundamentals. That should never happen. Ever. The field's so damn wide. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I can understand it. Maybe you're asking him to hit a touchback and he hits it short or something. You miss hit the ball a little bit. That I can understand.